Hello and welcome to opening day on the Washington Nationals franchise mode. It's gonna take some getting used to saying that, but we are here on year 4 of this Nationals team, but it's the first time actually ever that we're gonna be able to play a full game with this Nationals team because it's the first time we're playing in franchise mode. We've never seen this team from start to finish in a game. We always pick up in like the 5th at the earliest. Most of the time it's even later than that. We come into this season ranked number 1 in the MLB power rankings, and deservedly so, being a three-peat champ. First in contact, 7th in power, 4th in pitching, and our defense and speed is lacking a bit. Within our division, the Braves are still ranked 4th, so they're going to be the biggest threat. But then after that, the Marlins are 19th, and then the Mets have fallen to 25th, and the Phillies to 21st. The opening day roster is exactly what I expected it to be. James Wood getting the call up on offense, with Jose Ayala and Leo Blanco filling in, getting the call in the bullpen. And man, let me tell you guys, putting together this lineup and having to decide who's going to be on the bench, especially against righties, is going to be one of the most difficult things to do throughout this entire season. The first iteration of our starting lineup against a right-handed pitcher is not really what I plan on typically being our starting lineup versus righties. I just want to get James Wood in the opening day lineup, but look who's got to be on the bench for that to happen. Gavin Sheets, who eats righties alive, Ahmed Rosario, who's good all around, and even Isan Diaz, who I always plan on just being a bench bat, but look at how good he is at the plate. As far as things to take care of before opening day go, we can glance at our budget here. I still don't know what's the difference between yearly surplus and available budget, but as of right now, we have almost 12 mil of a projected yearly surplus and almost 17 mil of a projected budget. But one thing we can do to make that a little bit better is set some sponsorships. So I'm just gonna throw in the best sponsorships I have from playing Diamond Dynasty this year. I haven't gone out of my way to buy any. This is just whatever I've pulled throughout the year. The entire roster is set in terms of who I want at what level. So that means that I've taken care of everything that I can think of to take care of before getting into our first game. So it is time to get started here on opening day of 2026. And all right, here we go. Ian Happ leading off in those City Connect jerseys that we didn't get to see throughout the entirety of the March to October. First pitch, I took a rip. They've got Andrew Painter on the mound on opening day. Oh man, and I'm a little early. He's up to an 82 overall at 22 years old. This is his second year in the big leagues. And he's hitting Ian Happ on an 0-2 count to get this season started. That's a way to get on base. And remember, we're keeping going with where we were in the March to October. The difficulty is still set to legend. The only change to settings is I switched the gameplay style from competitive to simulation. I'm not exactly sure the difference. I don't know the feel. I don't know why I swung at that. But what I do know is it says it's supposed to focus more on player ratings and attributes and a little bit less on how good I actually am at the game. And we're getting started putting 2 runners on for free. Oh, and I got one literally right down the middle. It can't be more right down the middle than that, and I missed. Golden opportunity to do some damage there, and I didn't take it. Oh, and that's another walk missed way high. It's going to load the bases for the guy that you do not want to load the bases for. It's Mr. Clutch. He walked off the NLCS. He walked off the World Series, and now his first at bat of 2026 is coming with the bases loaded. Oh, that might be 2. We gotta hustle. Oh, he barely got out. Dude, that was so close. Mr. Clutch is not doing that. His first at bat, 1 out, bases loaded, and he's hitting into a double play. There's no way we didn't score a run after all that. All right, well, Cade Cavalli is this year's opening day starter. I'm pretty sure we've had a different opening day starter every year. But Cade Cavalli is now who I consider my ace after just an incredible performance in the postseason last year. And really every postseason. I wouldn't say that his regular season numbers have ever been great, but in the 3 playoff runs that we've had within March to October, he is insanely good. Like verging on the point where you could call him greatest postseason pitcher of all time level good. And yes, I include Mariano Rivera in that. And we're getting his season started with a punch out on 3 pitches. Maybe he's going to carry over that postseason dominance into the regular season. Okay, that's going to be our first chance at seeing James Wood in center, and he made that look nice and easy, even with not the greatest reaction. That's probably where James Wood is going to provide the most value for us this year. His hitting isn't great yet. It's not terrible. It's probably playable. It's like mid-50s in contact and power. Maybe it gets up to 60 against righties. But he should have a really good glove out there in center with decent speed. That's one thing, is they didn't know about his speed when these rosters were created. So he only has, I think it's 65 speed. And there we go. That slider works against the lefty. 1, 2, 3 inning, 2 punch outs for Cavalli. So I should also say that as of right now, I do just have all the sliders, all the settings just like normal. But as we play more and maybe learn more how the game plays in like full game settings, we might tweak some things, because judging by the way that I pitch in March to October with these guys, we might have to make pitching a little bit more difficult. I mean, Cade Cavalli goes out there, strikes out 15 guys every time he pitches in the playoffs. I feel like in general, I always shut people down with our bullpen. So if the pitching side of things is too easy, we might have to tweak that and make it a little bit more difficult. And Casas, hang on a second here. Did he do something? No, it's going to die at the track. But here it is. It's the first at-bat of James Wood's Major League career. Let's see what he can do. Get it started with a bang. Oh, or I guess we're getting it started with a 3-pitch punch-out. Got fooled on the change. Chapman to straightaway center. No, I didn't get enough of that either. Even with that swing. Wow. Really makes me wish that we got to Painter in that first inning with the bases loaded, because he definitely looked better in that inning. Ooh, we're getting a layoff of that slider. Okay, that doesn't happen a lot with a righty at the plate. Let's go right back to it. Didn't want it in the zone, but it worked. Ooh, okay, man. Bohm is giving us an AB here. I don't know, man. Maybe pitching won't need a tweak. Maybe things are a little bit different, just turning it to simulation. And yeah, Bohm works the walk. Wow. Back in March to October, that Cade Cavalli slider with 2 strikes to a righty was almost automatic. That layoff from Bohm on 2-2, that's definitely different. Can't drop. Hap, get there. All right, we're there. There we go. There's the punch out on the curve. Strand the runner at first. It's still 2-2. And man, even after that first inning, making him throw all the pitches that he did, we have about the same amount of pitches through 2 innings. Oh man, that change is actually a really tough pitch. It's plenty slower. It's got a lot of break. But on that one, I waited back on it and I was late. Oh, did it get me again? Dang, dude. There we go. Time that one up, and Abrams is going to be getting our first hit of the year. And man, I don't know why I didn't notice until right now, but Abrams typically has 83 speed. He has 86 right now, so that must have something to do with our coaching attributes. I forgot to take off. Doesn't matter. It's a fly out anyway, but I was too distracted. Can't let that happen. 3-2 count, 2 outs. You got to be off. Wow, another slider take on an 0-2 count that time from the 8-hole hitter. We got him to pop up, though, and Casas is there. Hey, maybe it's the curveball this year. Maybe it's just changed, because that pitch is getting a lot of swing and miss. Broken bat. He's going to get on from this. 99 speed, yeah. You could tell. That's a crappy way to give up the first hit of the year. Oh, he stole on the first pitch, and it threw me off on the pitch. Even if I don't bounce it in, he's getting in there. I threw a change. Oh, that's not where I want it to go. He's going to get around to score, isn't he? Soto, perfect throw. We did get him. What a throw from left by Juan Soto. All right, man. Momentum should be on our side after that. Was not expecting Soto to get him. I'm glad he did, because Turner coming around to score after the way he got on base just would not have felt good. God, that change, though, is still fooling me. CPU's learning here, man. They are just leaning on that. Went to it again, and I missed. There we go, though. That is going to be our second base hit. Almost looks identical to the first. Oh, and then that's what happens when they keep throwing that changeup over and over. You throw the fastball down the middle, and I'm a little late and a little under. No, look at that spot. I mean, I was late anyway, but oh, that was right on the edge. That was a couple of really nice pitches there. And James Wood's 0 for 2 with 2 punch-outs. I would not have expected this with how that first inning started, but this is officially a pitcher's duel. And man, look at starting pitching stamina. Cade Cavalli, only 44 pitches in, hasn't even thrown a pitch yet in the fourth, and he's down to like half energy. Not something we really had to worry about in March to October. It was just we load in like the 6th or 7th inning, check to see if our starter had energy, and it really didn't seem to ever depend on how many pitches they actually threw. It was just kind of random how much energy they had left. But Cavalli does only have 70 stamina, which is a little low for a starting pitcher. So I guess we're gonna learn here pretty quick that he might not be a guy who goes very deep into games. And now I can't find the zone. We gave up a leadoff hit. Now we're missing the zone. There we go. That's a nice swing and miss on that slider. Oh, and then that one missed over the plate. We got the perfect pitch release. It just happened to drift more towards the middle. And that is going to be a 2-run shot. We're in the hole. I'm not gonna lie though, on one hand, that almost makes me kind of happy in a way, because I was almost expecting pitching to be a little bit too easy, kind of like it is in March to October, at least kind of like it was. But Cavalli kind of struggling, the stamina being a factor, and then giving up a 2-run shot, maybe pitching's gonna be fine and balanced. Okay, we got the grounder. It was another deep count, another 3-2. I really want to try and just get Cavalli through 5, but that energy's already getting low here with 1 out in the 4th. Oh, he took it. Another 3-2 count, though, but I don't know what he's up there waiting for. I kind of hung that a bit. Marsh rolled over, and all right, after the 2-run shot, Cavalli got through it pretty quick and easy, but now we're down 2. Gotta figure out Andrew Painter here, man. I'm sure he's also getting kind of low on energy, so we're probably going to see that bullpen relatively soon. Oh, Matt Chapman? Hanging change, did he respond? He did. First homer of the year going to Matt Chapman. All right, man, he's playing on the last year of his contract. I'm not really expecting to bring him back since we have Brady House. But if Chapman can give us one last big year for us, that would be nice. And it's getting off to a good start. Oh, no. Hit that pretty hard. Squared it up, but just right to short. That's unfortunate on a 3-2 count. Hap, there we go. That's going to put the tying run on first. Abrams, no, I missed that. I pulled off on it a bit. Man, that was kind of an ambush swing on a fastball right there. Would have been nice to do damage. Soto, it did get through. Okay, now there's 2 on. And I think he got out of it. Didn't get around on the high heat. Cavalli's going to give us 5 because he's got to get the win. He's got to throw enough innings to get the win. So we're going to pitch this 5th inning with him, put up 2 runs in the top of the 6th, and then he'll be in line for the win. There we go. More weak contact. Got the grounder over to Casas. Ooh, I think I just saw, I picked the pitch pretty quick, but I saw the yellow. So if that was pitch 70, it was pitch 69 where he got into the yellow. That's early, man. That is very early to get down into the yellow energy. I know, like I said, 70 stamina on a starter isn't a ton, and also they definitely tweaked stamina and how it works all the way back when MLB 23 came out. It's just within March to October, we haven't had to see that play a role too much. So I don't know, man. Cavalli, kind of a strikeout pitcher, a little wild. This might be how his starts go. Not really be able to make it past the 5th too often, but at least the 5 innings he gives should be pretty good, and if we can get one more out, 2 runs in 5 innings, that's not bad. And we officially got the marker there that pitcher's getting tired. And we got a rollover, 99 speed, good throw from Abrams, gets him. And Cavalli is going to end his day. 5 innings pitched, 2 runs allowed, and either 6 or 7 punch-outs, I think. Oh my god, I waited back too long again. I thought I was finally starting to see that change. They did send Painter back out in the 6th. I was a little surprised because he doesn't have much energy left. Oh, I didn't want to... I tried to check at the last second, but I don't need to be swinging at that. Not on a 3-1 count, not if I'm not ready to get around on it. That's rough. All right, well, we're getting another big league debut here. Leo Blanco, the 19-year-old, picked in, I think it would have been the 2024 draft. 72 overall. He's got a 5-pitch mix, and I kind of liked the feel for him when we pitched that 1 inning in spring training. We got a couple lefties to start this inning, so that's his job. And there we go. His first big league out is a pop-up to short. And is that going to be a ground out to short now? Abrams making some plays. Man, that seems like a fast 95. I don't know what it is, but just... maybe from his arm angle or something. That looks a lot faster than 95. That's a good slider. I went kind of risky. I went another slider on 3-2, and he's laying off. Chapman's going to get there, so we don't get Blanco's first career punch-out, but we do get him through the inning. Pretty solid inning of work also. We're still down 1 here heading into the 7th. They are going to bring in a new pitcher now. Okay, that's good. Oh, no, he attacked me on 3-2. I'm not hitting that pitch. These Phillies are getting away with a lot of fastballs pretty much right down the middle to me. There's another one. I timed it up. I just didn't bring the PCI up high. Hap, that's right to second base, man. I'm missing this fastball in every way possible. Under it, off to the side. Can't seem to square it up. All right, we're going to go out and throw Nick Sandlin for his first appearance of the year. Come on, ring him up. Yeah, there we go. Sandlin punching him out. Kind of left that right down the middle. Soto's looking like he's going to get there. On the ground to Abrams. That's a nice 1-2-3 inning from Sandlin. Bullpen keeping us in it through these 2 innings. We got to get the offense going here. We got 2, 3, 4 coming up, and they're bringing in a righty. So we still have a good matchup here for Abrams. He's got to get us on base here to start. Oh, and he is going to... wait, what? That didn't get down? That wasn't a hit? He wasn't looking. I missed that too. A hanging slider. I'm getting pitches to hit one way or another, and even if I am hitting them, apparently we're not going to get a hit on it. Still can't get over that Bryson Stott play. Okay, we are going to get a hit, though, probably on the worst swing of the inning. The game's prompting me to, and it might be smart. Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to get Ahmed Rosario and his speed over there on first. And if Luis Garcia wants to be Mr. Clutch again and hit it to the gap, that'll tie it up. That was the pitch to do it also on, oh my God. I missed it. I was Oh, no. It said I had good timing even, but I was definitely late. I'm getting chance after chance, guys, and we only have one more chance left. It's probably a good spot to go to Joe Mantiply, though. We got a lefty leading off, a lefty batting third, and then if we give up a base runner, I think it's another lefty. Mantiply has steadily been our best relief pitcher over the course of this March to October. Traded for him back in season 1, just like Nick Sandlin, and Mantiply has been just locked down. I mean, look at that. And a pop-up to the catcher gets the only righty he should have to face. They're going to stick with Guillorme. I actually thought they would probably go to the bench, but maybe they just don't have anybody good, or maybe they knew Guillorme was going to hit a perfect. Either way, Abrams pays them back by snagging that perfect swing. This is it, though. Casas, Wood, and Chapman. Oh, and it's Gregory Soto. He's their closer. So we're probably going to want a pinch hit here, aren't we? That's kind of the problem, though, especially since we used Rosario as a pinch runner. Our only righty left on the bench is Alfaro. And I'd probably rather pinch hit for James Wood, wouldn't I? Casas, please drop in. Okay, we did. I really thought he was about to make a diving play. We got Casas on base. It's another spot. Oh, man. He went to the set real quick there. Another spot where it'd probably be good to pinch run, but do we have that left? I mean, if I'm going to bring in Alfaro now, he's our second best speed. I guess 50 speed on Sheets is still a lot better than Casas with 19, so maybe I should just make that move. All right, well, we're definitely going to bring Alfaro in to hit. I don't think I'm going to take Casas out, because even though we'd be getting 31 more speed by bringing Sheets in, 50 speed still isn't enough to guarantee scoring from the gap or scoring from second on a base hit if we move him up. I turned on it. I got the bat around, and it was just a little too high for me to get the PCI up there. The amount of good timing swings I've had on fastballs today that I just don't put the PCI in the right spot is really frustrating me. Matt Chapman, you're the only one who's got us on the board today, and it's down to you to do some more damage here. No, I can't be taking that. Oh, no. We're really down to our last out. Oh, and I'm missing pitches like that. Where is that left thumb even going? And I took another one. That's an insane breaking sinker there. That's a great pitch. That is not the start that I was expecting to get off to here. Wow. We got a lot of runners on base, 7 hits, bunch of walks, and even a hit by pitch, but only the one run came around to score. There was no clutch hitting today. But hey, that, I mean, in a way, I don't want to say I'm happy about losing, but it almost makes me a little bit more excited to play, knowing we're not just going to steamroll our way through another season and win the World Series. Like, this is actually going to be a challenge. But you know, maybe the one good thing about that is I'm not going to have to load back into the home screen and see a bunch of snowflakes deposit themselves onto a momentum meter. We just get to erase that and move on to the next day. So we're just going to go ahead, press triangle. That's all I got to do now. And we're on to the next day. I don't like the way that James Wood's MLB debut went, though. So I'm hopping in here to game 2 of the season, raining here, apparently. And I'm player locked as James Wood. This is something I want to do. Get a lot of gameplay in that's not necessarily me playing a full game. And player lock is going to be one of the ways that I do that. And man, we're simming here to start. We put up 2 runs in the first, and now Adone gave up 1. That's kind of tough to keep up with in real time like that. But we have a 2-1 lead, and we have a Tristan Casas double giving us a guy on second for our first at bat of the day, which actually kind of stinks in terms of just using James Wood because his clutch rating is not as high as his contact rating. I don't think that's going to get down. Off the bat, I thought I might have hit it a little harder. At least it's going to move the runner up to third, so it's not a completely unproductive at bat there. All right, second at bat coming in the 5th here. Looked like with 2 runs on our side and 1 on their side in the first, it might have been an exciting high-scoring game, but it has turned into anything but. He's at 39 pitches. No, I missed. Are you kidding me? Oh, that's terrible. You hung the splitter. Can't be missing that. Adone is losing it. Walked 2 and gave up a base hit. It looks like we're coming in on defense to see how they're at least going to tie the game, I'm sure. Worried it's going to be a ball to the gap, though. Should I back up? Or it could be a blooper. Maybe I shouldn't have backed up. Oh, it's a blooper. I don't think we're getting there anyway. Oh, I'm not even the one getting it anyway, but that's going to bring in 2. And we don't even get an out on it. This is not looking good here in game 2 of the season. Oh, man, and it simmed 1 at bat. Guillorme got a single, and now we're coming right back in with Harper at the plate. Oh, it's going to be another base hit. Can't do anything about that. All right, our 3rd at bat. Costas got himself on base again. It's still Taijuan Walker. I struck out on a pitch that hit me? It didn't let me hold the swing? That's so bad. I just want to get James Wood's first hit on recording, and I'm completely blowing it with him. That's an 0 for 6 to start the season. I'm going to have to player lock another game. I might player lock until he gets the first hit. I didn't really plan on having James Wood being a starter all the time, but I want him in there until he gets his hit because I want to be the one that gets the hit. All right, well, we got one last chance up here at the plate in the 9th with a lefty out there now. Oh, I feel like I hit that well, actually. That's carrying. Oh, my God. Harper jumping at the wall? Seriously? Why you gotta do that to him? It didn't even go in his glove. And that's going to be the end of the game. We're dropping 2 games to start the season to the Phillies. I mean, we have 160 to go. The first 2 is not a big deal. It's just, though, man, I wanted to get off to a better start than this. On the same day, though, we have our first AAA game of the year. I'm not going to go into it or anything, but we'll take a look after we sim it here. So I'm just going to go ahead, press triangle, and quick sim. We lose 3-0. Organization is not having a good start to our season. Like I said, though, I want to be the one to get James Wood's first hit. I want to capture that on recording. So I'm hopping back in player locked as him again. Unfortunately, we got to go up against the lefty on the mound, but actually, probably my best swing of the 7 at-bats that Wood has had is come against the lefty. Oh, we put up 3 in the first. All right, we loaded the bases with 2 outs. But now we have our first AB against Bailey Falter here. Lefty. Doesn't throw all that hard, so we got to keep the bat speed slowed down, and that is going to do it. That might even leave. Oh, it didn't quite. Okay, 1 hop the wall, and we get James Wood's first hit. Perfect. Against a lefty, out to left center. And there it is. 105 off the bat. That's the kind of swings we need James Wood to be making. That felt really nice, actually. I was all over that. All right, next AB coming here in the 4th with a runner on. Bailey Falter still out there. Is that going to drop in? It is. Look at this. 2 for 2 against the lefty starter. Man, combine that in with the fly out at the wall to end the last game. That was also lefty. Something about James Wood against lefties is like easier. All right, we're putting up more runs. Luis Garcia had another RBI double, and now we get to face a new arm out there. It's a righty. Oh, I needed to be ready for that on a 3-2 count. That high fastball is definitely going to be the toughest for James Wood with him being so tall. And that was at the very top of the zone. Snell gave up his first run in the 6th inning. Still out there, though. Okay, now it's Jose Ayala. That's his debut. I should have... Well, I couldn't have hopped in, actually. When you're player locked, I don't think you can just hop into the game. Seems like he had a good outing, though, because we're still at the 1 run allowed. 4th AB of the game here, coming in the top of the 9th against another new arm, another righty. Oh, and I tried to check, but it didn't let me. Once again, not doing anything against the righty. This is so interesting to me. I'm going to go ahead and skip this, though. We don't need to field, and we should wrap up this game. Had to bring Sir Anthony Dominguez in, though. But at least there it is. Our first win of the season. 5-1 over the Phillies. And we got our first hits on the board with James Wood. And since this was a 4-game series, we'll have the chance to split it. So we won't go home completely empty-handed if we can split the series. Oh, and here we go, the first Sunday of the season, which means it's the first day to set our scouting assignments. So it gives you the notification. I don't have to do it right away, it seems like. We have a little bit more scouting budget, $13,300 if we want to hire a new guy, and I think we will, because right now we have Clifford, who's good scouting both pitchers and position players, Eddie Flores, who's way better scouting position players, and then Thomas Patton, who's more of a pitcher scout. But we have Waylon McGill here, who's got 97 efficiency and a 97 pitching scouting. So that would be a pretty significant improvement to Thomas Patton being our dedicated pitching scout. So I think we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to fire Patton, hire Waylon McGill, and then our pitching scouting is going to get a little bit better. All right, and this is what I set up for our first week of the scouting plan. We've got all three of our scouts scouting by position, but I've set the positional needs to gain extra interest for starting pitcher and then middle infield. And then for this first week, I've got second baseman being scouted and then starting pitching from both international and East. And if we look at our roster, this is why I feel like we need those positions scouted. We don't really have many weaknesses. We have a lot of young guys. We don't really need prospects like ready to go. We kind of almost need to churn over that depth. And starting pitching's probably the biggest example of that, because our 5 starters right now, they're all going to be around for at least this year and next year. But when it comes to my prospects, really the only one I have confidence in being good by that point is Estevan Zapata. We also have Almanzar and Valencia that I think both will be solid. It'll just take them a little longer to get there. So we could use some more starting pitching prospects. And then middle infield's kind of the same thing. We have Diaz, we have Rosario, we have Abrams, and we're going to have all of them for a while still, at least a couple years more. But after that, we have like no prospects at either position. I mean, the only one you could even consider a prospect is Alejandro Marte, but he's only a C potential, and if I remember right, back to the draft, he was only like a 70 or 71 potential. All right, here's what we're gonna do for this next game. I know we've played every single game so far. That's not how it's gonna be. We're gonna do plenty of simming this year, but I kind of want to keep a spirit of March to October alive in a way. So every once in a while, I think we're gonna hop into a game kind of like this. I'm gonna go into the game, but then immediately simulate to the 7th inning, so we only have the last 3 innings to play, and up till that point, the game will have none of my input. It's all going to be simulated. And I feel like, you know, a 1-2 start to the season, game 4 of the first series of the year, getting a chance to even it up, that's a pretty March to October situation to load into a game. So when we make it to the 7th inning here, top 7, we have a 3-0 lead, and Josiah Gray is pitching an absolute gem. We have a couple doubles today. Soto's driven in 2 runs. Meneses and Hatt both a multi-hit game, but Josiah Gray, he's given up 1 hit, 1 walk, gotten through 6 scoreless with 6 punch-outs. If he is going to be back to this form, look out. So the plan is to play through these last 3 innings if I hop into a game like this, and all we got to do here is just hang on to a 3-run lead, so this should be pretty easy. Soto didn't quite get around on that. I was just a little late. Meneses, I got on top of that also, man. Come on. Garcia, that's also gonna get fielded. Okay, well, not a great first inning for me in this one. Oh, and look at this. This really is like loading into a March to October game. Josiah Gray has a ton of energy left. Even 67 pitches in. By this point, Turner's gonna get on. Oh, wait, maybe not. Oh, Casas actually got it there. That's another thing, is now that we got our James Wood first hit out of the way and all that, we've reverted to probably the starting lineup I want most times against right-handed pitching, and that's with Casas over at third, Sheets in the lineup at first, and then Abrams bumped to center field, Chapman at short. But I think what I was saying is by this point in our start with Cade Cavalli, he was like down in the yellow energy. So it's going to be very interesting if this is like how a really good start would go when it comes to stamina, or if it's just because of the fact that I simmed until this point. Oh, and there we go, punching him out. Casas, another chance at third. Scoops it up again, playing a good third base. There's another inning down by Gray. I want him to finish this one. Man, I am not making good swings here. That could drop. No, it's not. It looked like he got a bad jump. Sheets? Man, I made a really nice swing there. What's wrong with that? Chapman, though, that's hit pretty well. Is that going to get over his head? Oh, it didn't. It would have had to leave. Well, I feel like the focus right here is on Josiah Gray anyway. He's got plenty left in the tank to finish this. Grounder to Garcia. That's going to be another out. 5 to go to finish it with Gray. And there we go. Punched him out on that fastball, up and away. 4 more. Oh, man. Up and in. He can't catch up to it. We're still blowing it past him. 8 innings deep. 1 to go for a complete game shutout. Another pop-up, man. I feel like I'm getting under everything and not hitting anything hard. There's another one. Literally the same thing. Under it and weak. Abrams, is that going to be my first hit? It is. Almost went down 9 in a row after loading into the game, but Abrams is going to save me and get himself a double. Maybe we can get one more run of insurance here for Gray. Looks like they're going to put Soto on for free. It's fine with me. That just brings up Joey Meneses. I don't really know why you'd want to do that. Oh, and they got bailed out. I got around on that. I really did. Just a little under it, and I'm not doing anything offensively, but it's all about Gray. 3 more outs to finish the game. We got 9, 1, 2 to deal with, and we only have 1 and 2 to deal with now. All right, we've just now hit yellow energy. 93 pitches deep. Still got to get 2 more outs, and we got the call right on the edge. What a pitch. It's just Luis Guillorme that stands in the way of a complete game shutout. Oh, is that? It is. Oh my God, that was so weak. 74 miles per hour off the bat, and it's extending the game. I'm going to let him face Turner, but one way or another, this is his last batter. So you may as well finish the game. And it looks like he did. Fly ball to Abrams, and that's a series split. Dropped the first 2 games, won the next 2, brought it back even, and our season is right back on track. All right, I want to sim this next 3-game series against St. Louis, just straight up. But here's the thing. I can either press triangle, and then it just gets simmed. But then I don't get to control like the batting order if I want to. I don't get to control who pitches if I want to. But what that does do is it gives us the opportunity to see critical situations. Now, on the other hand, what I'm going to do for this series, but if you guys have any input for what you'd like to see, I'm going to do kind of how we started that last game, where I'm going to load into the game like I'm going to play. But then I'm just going to go into that simulator mode and sim through the game. But that way, I get to control, who our pitcher is going to be. I get to control the batting order if there's somebody tired that I want to sit. Maybe the CPU would do something I wouldn't want to do. But then when I do it this way, we won't have the chance to see a critical situation pop up. Now, I could pause the simming and hop into a situation if I wanted to, but I also kind of want to limit that. I want to have simming. I want this team to have to play on its own like it would have in March to October. There's plenty of just straight up simming where I don't get to control anything. So if I'm doing it like this, where I'm simming it in, I guess, quick manage mode, but it's not really quick manage mode because I'm just watching it play out. If I'm doing that, I kind of just want to let the game go. I don't know how often I'm going to hop into different situations. So we end up losing the first game to the Cardinals 9-3, and it was a Mackenzie Gore start, and he does not have it still. He did not even get 2 outs in the first inning. He got yanked after a third of an inning, and then Hicks had to go 5 2/3. All things considered, he had a good outing. We had a homer from Sheets, his first of the year, but not much offense to go along with a lot of offense on their side. And then I'm just going to cover all my bases here. We're going to sim these next 2 games just straight up pressing triangle, just so we get a feel for everything, every different way to get through these games. So this game on Tuesday, Cade Cavalli's first start or second start, and well, it went to the next month, but we lost again. Chapman and Jorge Alfaro went deep. James Wood got another 2 hits against a lefty. Cavalli only made it into the 5th again, gave up 4. And then the final game of the series is a win. So we don't get swept, but we're not off to a great start. CJ Abrams carried 4 for 5. Adone only made it through 4 innings, probably because of all the walks. But then the bullpen picked him up, had a really nice game. But then that is where we are going to call this first episode of the 2026 season. We're going to save the home opener for the start of next episode. And before we wrap up, just some thoughts running through my head as I was recording this one. I haven't done any editing yet, but I get the feeling that this episode is going to end up being a lot longer than I would want a typical episode of the franchise to be. I'm kind of shooting for around 25 minutes, give or take about 5 minutes, and I have a feeling this is going to be more. Could be wrong, but there's just a lot of different ways to get through games. So in this episode, we saw playing a full game, we saw loading in the 7th, we saw some player lock, some simming in the quick manage type mode, and then just some straight up simming. Didn't get to see any critical situations. I also feel like there could be some fun in like loading in as a spectator, not controlling anybody and turning it to quick counts and watching a game like that, showing the highlights. But if you can't tell, I'm still a little overwhelmed making this series and trying to format these episodes. It's a lot different than the normal videos I make where I can kind of just sit down, record, edit what I recorded, and throw it up on the internet. This takes a little bit more getting used to, so I hope you guys are along for the ride, and I hope you're fine getting used to it with me. But I'm having fun, and I think this is gonna be a fun series the more I can get it down. But for now, that is gonna do it. So thank you guys for watching today. Make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you in the next episode for the home opener.